how it is that I could provide a solution here. So having determined that, you will move to the next step, which is the impact that the problem is causing. And here you're just brainstorming, so you could continue your conversation with your particular practitioner, or you may call around and talk to 2, 3, 4 practitioners, just light conversation. Like, what are the causes? Why you think that people are missing their appointment? And it says, well, what's the impact? When patients miss their appointment, they put their health at risk. And also, doctors are unproductive because they still have to show up at work. People don't show up for their appointments. And then what you find happening is that you still incur cost of operating your business. So there is that operational cost of turning on the lights, the AC, just showing up, and salaries needs to be paid. And maybe the doctors are just busy on Facebook or something else while they sit waiting and hoping that clients, their patients will show up. Then it may put another sore point of a rescheduling issue, present another problem of rescheduling issue. So those are just 3 examples of the impact that I came up with. Now, moving on to consequences. Now, if this problem isn't resolved, what are some of the consequences that may happen? What are some of the things, if something isn't dealt with, what are some of the inevitables, so to speak? Well, if patients aren't going to the doctor, they're missing their appointments, then their health may be deterioration of patients' health, or for the medical practice itself, because they're losing revenue, there may be potential foreclosure of that particular office. And I feel like the emotion here is that everybody is particularly frustrated. So here are the first couple steps and approaches in how it is that you should be exploring the situation. So for your particular problem that you're trying to solve, you're going to construct what your initial problem is. Then you're going to deep dive a little more into the impact that the problem is causing, then the consequences, and then the emotions as well that the particular individuals are feeling. After you've done that, then we move to step 2, which is develop a problem statement. So you're not developing this problem statement in a vacuum, because we have already done step 1. So this is what we know about the problem, that when patients miss their doctor's appointment, they put their health at risk. 2, missed appointments impact productivity and lost revenue. And 3, patients' health may become progressively worse. And finally, the extended lost revenue could result in business closure, right? So these are the things that we do know based on the prior step. So on that basis, we're going to now draft a problem statement. So here's a problem statement that I have drafted based on the example that we're using. Missing a doctor's appointment is a pain. It places the patient's health at risk, and medical practices are in jeopardy of closure due to revenue loss. So that is the problem statement. And I was only able to construct the problem statement based on step 1, which was exploring the situation and then being able to put a list of like what I thought were some of the high points and the highlights of the previous process, and then constructing the problem statement from there. And this may not be a perfect problem statement, and you may start off, it takes, you know, several practices in trying to get to the refining what that problem statement is, but this is enough for us to move forward. So now that we know what the problem, or we think we know what the problem is, we must now try to figure out what causes the problem. What is the root cause of this problem? Why are people missing their appointments? So in your case, if it is that you're going into retail, or you're going to distribute, or you're going to buy products to sell, you must understand, okay, there are so many sellers in the market. There are so many other competition. But for me, what problem am I going to be able to solve when I come to the market with my products or with my goods? What the uniqueness is, and what is the root cause of this problem? So here's an approach that is used in solving business problems across the board, depending on what it is that you're looking to solve. So you can ask, you can use the 5 techniques, the 5 technique. And Toyota is credited for this technique, but I credit the kids, because a child always asks you why not? And really, that is the premise of this. In order to find out what the root cause is and what is the cause and effect relationship, you have to start with your initial assumption and ask why. What's the reason for this? What's the reason for this? Why? Until you arrive where you initially started. So I'm going to show you an example of that as well. All right, so here is the example that I have using the 5 approach. So our problem is patients miss their appointments. Why? Patients, and the reason here is patients often forget about their appointments. Why do patients forget about their appointments? Patients did not receive a reminder. Why? Doctors do not have an appointment reminder system. Why? Doctors cannot afford a reminder system. Why? Because of low revenue. And why? Because patients miss their appointments. Do you see the connection here? How we started with patients missing their appointments, and we ended with them missing their appointments. So now we have to examine this entire graph or chart to determine what really is the root cause. Anybody wants to guess what the root cause is? Looking at this right here, what do you think the root cause is? What's the root cause of this problem? What do you think the root cause is? It's on the screen. Why do you think that patients, doctor's office inefficiencies? Okay. Yeah, but dig deeper, because the answer is on the screen. So which one? Low revenue? No, because we can't solve that. What do you think the root cause is that we could come up with a solution? Come on, guys. All right, think about the solution. What solution do you think this thing needs? How could we solve the doctor's problem? Come on, Letitia, you guys are close.
I'm trying.
Come on, because this technique, I'm telling you, you can use it on anything, not even just business. Whenever you're trying to solve something, you just bring it right here to find out what the root cause is. What is this root cause, guys? What you think? I said, no, it's not low wages, so let's eliminate. It's not low wages. So what could it be? What else? We know what the problem is, the initial problem, and we know where we've ended. So now we need to start saying, okay, low wages, can we provide a solution for low wages? What really is the solution here? What would stop patients from missing their appointments and help the practitioners with their revenue? What would really help them? An appointment system. Ding, 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 ding. Absolutely, absolutely. So the root cause here, guys, is doctors do not have a reminder system. So it's right here, right here. This is the root cause of it all. So, but we would not have been able to just determine that from the jump. We couldn't determine that just from the jump, guys, until we went down a level or two more. Then we start saying, okay, but low wages, all right, maybe they could do some marketing to improve their wages. That has nothing to do so much with people missing their appointments. But if they do have a system in place, then that would help them. So what this is doing now is helping us to say we need to find a solution for appointments, a solution that will allow doctors to remind their patients that they do have an appointment, and for patients to now turn up, because since our initial thought is that they are forgetting their appointment. And again, it may have to be something that's very affordable because of the low wages that we're seeing here. But remember, these are just us trying to understand the problem. So we answered that question. So here we are now. We now know what the root cause of this problem is. Doctors do not have an appointment reminder system. So this will help us now, guys. Oh, sorry. I think somebody else wanted to come in the room. Give me a minute. I don't know how. It's saying I have 7 people, but I don't know how to add. Give me a minute. Oh Lord, this is a train wreck. Hold on. Okay. All right. Whew, Jesus be offense. All right. So this is where we're at. All right. So we have determined what the root cause is. And it's the same principle that you're going to use with your business idea, guys. Same principle, same steps that's going to bring you here. And with the market validation piece of it, what we're trying to find out here is what is the real opportunity? Is there really a market? Should I proceed with my initial thoughts? And this is how you're going to be able to determine this. Oh, child. All right. So we're going to have to find out for this particular, based on this particular example, we have to find out how many patients are missing their appointments. This will give us a feel of the size of the problem, how many doctors are experiencing this problem, like how many medical practices are experiencing this problem, and the number of misappointments. And when we do have those two numbers, it will allow us to be able to quantify, like, what is the revenue loss? If people are not showing up, how many people are not showing up? What is the money? What is how much it is that doctors are actually losing when folks don't show up for their appointments? Now, this is where the work actually comes in. All the other stuff has been like really light, real fluffy. These were perhaps just initial phone calls and conversations that you were having here and there. But now you have to be a little bit more focused. It has to be more intentional. as to how do I find the answers to this. Now, one approach here, depending on the size